I'm Alex Egorov. I'm the CEO and the founder of BitRewards. And BitRewards is a rewards and loyalty platform for the online stores. Online stores install our software on the top of their websites, and it allows them to reward their users for their purchases and for the purchases of their friends with cryptocurrency. So in essence, we like to say that we allow for mining of cryptocurrency through purchases to the simple investors, to the simple users, to the purchases of the online stores. And not only actually for purchases, but as well for different other configurable actions that are valuable for the merchant. It's like it could be shares and likes and other social actions. It could be some product reviews, or maybe coupon that the merchant just put out on some exhibitions or some forums or conferences. I'm saying that today we have one very big fundamental problem between merchants and customers, because they are like really their behavior towards each other is like enemies. They're arch enemies, because customers, they don't care about the loyalty at all. They don't know loyalty. I don't want to be loyal to any brand. We want the best quality product at the lowest possible price and with the highest possible reward, if we can do that. And particularly on the internet, the competition is just one click away. So you just you're clicking and you're changing the brand. When you're buying the ticket, you don't care what airline you're selecting, you're picking, yeah? Because it's what's interesting for you is the time and the price. And so that's why the customers, they are not loyal. They want free stuff, they want free money, they want free lunch. And the merchants, they also need to be protected, that's why. And so you can't blame that for wanting to extract as much profit from each and every headcount as they can. And they use every cunning trick they can. Because even Apple, who's considered to be the brand with the most loyal audience, probably in the history of the world, but Apple is slowing down the older versions of their phones. My iPhone 7, which has got more computational power than probably entire NASA in 1980. It lags so freaking bad. It's so slow that I want to throw it away. But that's what Apple wants me to do, so they're manipulative. But and they got good reason for that. You can't blame that too. So that's why their interests and their motivation of the customers and merchants, it's direct opposite. And that's what we at BitRewards, that's what we know how to make the customers and merchants friends again. Because we're giving something to the customers that they value a lot, which is cryptocurrency. It's a real liquid asset, besides which tends to go up in price, because we know that that cryptocurrencies in the recent history, they're going up in price, and probably they will continue. And at the same time, we're giving to merchants some really good tools and some solutions, how they can make the customers loyal. So how and in what proper way they can offer this incentive for the customers to become more loyal to them, which means that they will buy more often, and value this brand more. I worked in banking and financial sector for more than 15 years. And I finished my career more than 5 years ago now. As a vice president, I was overseeing the international relations in the National Reserve Bank. And so I really think that I'm still a financial and a numbers guy. But I was always infatuated by the technology and by application of different technologies to different businesses. And this is the most dynamic area of the human development, because the history actually of the human development, we as mankind developed with the technology. So that's why it's the most interesting area. And as we see that financial institutions are becoming financial technologies. And I started feeling it back then. And I started feeling that financial institutions, they don't develop in the standard financial institutions, they don't develop in the way that they should, because they are not adopting the technology and they will be disrupted. So that's why I started, I started up I started investing into the high-tech companies, into the internet technologies. And so gradually our product became, it's actually what we're doing, and BitRewards is based on the product that is actually a platform that allows to issue the codes. Like now it's crypto codes and it's encrypted into the blockchain. But at the moment our platform is in central way. It issues the promo codes or some different codes to which you can attach all the different events. And they are also the financial events, because they mean this crypto code, it contains the link to the discount, which is stipulated by the certain amount of the purchase of the order that the customer needs to make. And it can be personalized. It can be attached to one particular customer, and it can be attached to one particular brand or to many brands. And so in this way, it's the financial instrument, because it's like, what is a promo code, or what is a gift card, or digital gift card for that matter? It's the promissory note of the brand. It's actually the brand's currency. So we've been in the business of the branded currency and of digital currency for 5 years now. So that's why for us, like the blockchain is it's super natural and very organic development of our platform, what it had been doing for a number of years now already. That's why this long question, long answer to your question about why is you're a financial a vice president of the bank, how come that you are doing something like BitRewards, the rewards and loyalty platform? Because I think that it's a financial technology, and I was always trying to apply different financial instruments and financial tools to different businesses. It's been quite a few of different events going on, and we participated in several conferences. One was hosted by TokenPost, which was very nice and good. And we just generally, so I'm already getting back here for the third time. I've never been to Korea for my whole life, and it's already in 1 month I'm for the third time here. Yeah, which is pretty ironic. But actually, so I like how the people here are treating cryptocurrencies, and are in general how they're very tech savvy, and how they're accepting the technologies and adopting technologies. And so that's why we're just we feel that it's a very important ground for us to develop our project. And we're on our path to opening here a subsidiary in Korea as well, the subsidiary of BitRewards, and we're speaking with quite a few of different people. We haven't signed anything yet with the local partners, but we're speaking with quite a few of them, with Blockchain Revolution partners. We met also with Upbeat company, which is very impressive, which has got an impressive technology, in particular with stamps and with different virtual gifts. This is our domain. This is actually some area where we're also developing. So we've heard a lot of news about the Korean legislation developments, which actually in the beginning of February it probably freaked a lot of people out. But we see that the development and the repercussions of that are quite positive, because the overall regulation of cryptocurrencies is becoming more solid and more robust. So we actually welcome all the changes that lead to the transparent to more transparent and the clearer rules of the games, and to the improvement of the rules. So we've now at our pre-sale stage. We've collected $2.7 million, and the interesting fact is that it is from more than 3,000 different token buyers. So it's like it's really the common people who are accepting our projects and supporting it very much, for which we're we're appreciative. So there's 10% only left to closing of our soft cap, which is $3 million. And it's quite a lot of time still left for our pre-sale and for our main sale. And we've got a lot of talks with the different interested investors, which we haven't announced anything yet, but it's ensuing. We feel that we're going to be exceeding 3 million quite a lot. Yeah, but we don't want actually to exceed it a lot, because it's now we're also offering some of the bonuses. The bonuses are still there. So that's why our intention was to be very benign on this at this stage in attraction of different investors and in broad marketing. So that's why we're not we haven't exceeded it already by now, because of course we could have. Since our platform is in the good shape of development, usually all the ICOs, they're most of them, they're spending 50 or 45 to 50% on the technical development. In our case, we're allocating only about 25 to 30% on the technical development, no more than that. And the majority of the funds will go towards the scaling in the global markets. In our main markets of the presence, it will be the US markets, of course, Europe and Asia. And one of the first destinations for us is Korea, of course. And we actually, I forgot to mention that we have about 30% of the backers of the token buyers we have from Korea.
Wow.
It's first or second among all the supporters. Yeah, so which is extremely exciting. And that, I think, that's because we're present here. So that's why it's my third time here, and I see the good results. And so we definitely want to continue, and we want to double down on our presence here. We have we actually already now, we have, I think, 4 or 5 out of more than 16 people who we have very strong advisory board who are supporting us in very different areas, in legal issues, scaling in the global markets, big data processing, and big data and enterprise integration. And we have 5 advisors of the entire team are from the United States. And recently we've had a new advisor who joined our advisory team, is Nathan Christian. He's the editor of the Cryptocurrency World magazine, and I can be mixing up the name, but he's a very he's an extremely well recognized and very reputable person for the in crypto community, and he's top 10 blockchain people in the world now. Yeah, he's also one of the highest rated experts on the ICO bench, where we're also having very good ratings. The crypto assets, which are becoming more and more popular now, I think that they're still in the very beginning of the development. But we're on the verge of the tsunami, I think, because we also, just for fun, we've done such an interesting experiment, or rather exercise. So we imagined that you would, for instance, invest $150 into Bitcoin, and $150 is 5% of the $3,000, which is it's a pretty high amount of expenditures for a household, but it's doable. Yeah, so just imagine that if you had invested $150 a month into Bitcoin and started 5 years ago on the 1st of January of 2013. By now, you would have had 47.5, I think, or 48 or something like that, Bitcoins. Which means that this is the amount of approximately $500,000 already. Yeah, it's mind-blowing. So that's why I think that these assets they're still underdeveloped, because like very few people did it like that. But those who did, they're wealthy people. Yes, and so that's what we think we're providing to the customers. This opportunity to invest like really frictionlessly into the cryptocurrency just by making the purchase. But like general about the cryptocurrencies, I also think that I mentioned that it's $150 a month. By now you will have 47 or like 48 Bitcoins, but it's without the interest rate. Because nobody is investing now in cryptocurrencies, for example, with interest rates. But it's one of the very common, your first interest when you were your first interest, your first intention is to get to know what amount of the interest you're going to get if you're investing into securities, right? Into traditional securities or bonds or like promissory notes. You're saying like, what's the interest rate? You're not saying that about Bitcoin or about like other cryptocurrencies. I think that this is bound to change as well. Starting from probably this year, you will be able to invest and to receive some interest rates as well. And because there are very few derivatives now in comparison to the traditional markets about cryptocurrencies, but they start emerging. And as well, what I think is that we have barely scratched the surface with blockchain technology, because it hasn't penetrated yet the various domains of our daily lives. Maybe financial sector is a little bit better, and we see now the very concrete application of this technology in financial sector. But even there, it's still in the tested mode, and a lot of that are experiments that are still need to be confirmed and need to be tested, well tested. But what I'm thinking is that blockchain is developing rapidly, super rapidly. Now you already see that Bitcoin as well is showing better and better results in the in remittances and in the payments, and the entire technology is developing for the better and developing a lot. Yes. It's becoming more powerful. It's becoming smoother. We can make more transactions using different blockchains, and they're now competing with each other about the efficiency and about the things that you can do on the blockchains. So I'm extremely positive about the blockchain technology, but about the assets, it remains to be seen. How the crypto assets will be inscribed into the standard financial system and standard financial tools. We will see a lot of interesting developments. So you just can go to our website, BitRewards.network, and there's everything. It's very detailed. We have a very detailed analysis on our website and information about what we're doing. We have a very detailed also white paper which has got some technicalities and everything so that you need to understand better about the product. And now there are still some of the neat bonuses that you can actually use towards your purchase. And you can do everything from our website. I enjoy being in Korea. I like the people a lot. because I think that we got like between our nation, like Russians and Koreans, I think that we have a lot of similarities, and like spiritually, that's what I feel. Yeah, and it's actually like, yeah, and it's exciting. It's exciting to be here, and I like that a lot of from the people here, I see a lot of thoughtfulness. And that's really like thoughtfulness towards the other people and towards the different like details and towards the different domains of life.